a dramatic and positive breakthrough in the relations between the two neighbors. And it was of interest also to note that some of the observations made by Dr. Ozatai are relevant also to Armenia in terms of experts, in terms of financial discipline, and there are certain similarities and parallels with Russian economy as well. The Turkish companies have been facing the same money deficit as the Russian companies, and this was and is the factor which worsened the economic scenario in this country. And I also like to know the very important factor of psychological evaluation of the crisis, and the need to maintain business confidence. This is really a very remarkable point. And now we have certain changes in our agenda. So I'd like to give the floor to our internet guest from Ukraine, Volodymyr Litvin. This name is quite renowned in Ukraine and in this country. Not only in this country, but in CS country. This gentleman needs no introduction. He's well known not only as an outstanding economist who held the post of Deputy Minister of Finance, but an outstanding political figure. So, with these words, I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Volodymyr Litvin. The floor is yours, Mr. Litvin.
Thank you very much, dear Chairman. Can you hear? Can you see me well?
Yes. Yes.
All right, let me start. Well, first of all, thank you for the flowers in terms of all these compliments that have been given to my humble personality. But let me start. I would try to be so much academic in terms of the figures, statistics that the previous speakers used to use. First of all, given the fact that as of today it's quite difficult to have any sort of one-off standardized statistics because I think that during the crisis times, everything people tend to see everything in a more pink colors rather than it is the reality. Therefore, this is also one of the things that I wanted to comment about. First of all, I would like to start with the sort of notion that crisis came immediately, crisis came almost unexpectedly, because Ukraine used to observe very positive trend of its life, very positive view of foreign investors to the country. Last year we used to have very big interest of foreign capital to the Ukrainian economy, primarily to the banking sector. Given the fact that the population, the income per capita was growing quite substantially, and there was a substantial interest from banking capital to Ukraine. We used to observe sales of Ukrainian banks with the also unprecedented levels of pricing for these institutions, which was good at that time, which is not very good today from their perspective, but very good if you fail to inject very little, just in order for this baby to survive. Which is to say that as of today, in terms of recapitalization, what we're seeing is that all the foreign banks that stepped into the Ukrainian market, they don't seem to look like those who would leave their Ukrainian daughters on their own. I'd like to also carry on with this one interesting example on how the Ukrainian banks, what happens with Ukrainian banks these days. During the time I was working at the Ministry of Finance, that was recently, one of my former clients, I'm a banker first of all, so when I worked at the representative office of the Western Bank in Ukraine, I had several clients in the banking community. So one of those clients called me and he says, what happens with this recapitalization with the government participation? So why? He says, well, we want to see if we can participate in this recapitalization. This is one of the top 10 Ukrainian banks. It is still Ukrainian owned. They are quite advanced in terms of its management. They are quite advanced in terms of deputy chairman of this bank. If the government steps in terms of recapitalization, it means that with a little money, the government is going to control the bank, which means that the shareholder interest would be wiped out. Most likely the management would be replaced, and he would be the one who would be fired. And he follows, what shall we do? So, well, you have very good relationship with the IFIs. Go to them. Because, in my opinion, the government is probably the worst owner. If EBRD is there, then it means that substantial due diligence took place. Substantial credit analysis and all similar things took place. Which is to say that the investment of those private people would be rather safe and would be well protected given the status of the IFI. So this is the very simple illustration of what happens when an IFI gets into the picture. What happened to Ukraine overall? We were lucky that we admitted the fact that the crisis is coming. That's why we had to look for the support from the IMF. As everybody probably knows, Ukraine was one of the first countries who applied to the IMF for support. The week after we submitted this application, the mission was in Ukraine, working until the time when the memorandum was signed. Yes, the memorandum was signed, and we were very much successful in terms of getting this through very quickly, given the fact that my boss, at that time the Minister of Finance, he already had some very good experience in cooperation with World Bank and the IMF. What happened after? We had either project with the World Bank, developing program loan. We were not lucky, we were not successful to get this loan signed with the bank due to some conditions that lay in the political auspices. And although it was still our willingness to get this loan, but we could not believe that we could get certain things passed in Parliament. This was lasting for 10 months, so that we could not find a solution with the World Bank. But when the IMF signed the memorandum with Ukraine, the World Bank came to us and says, well, we want to support you. So they increased conditions until the drawdown. So that is another illustration, sort of macro